Good afternoon, my name is Renussel, and this is my review of the Sapphire Vappor-X Radeon R9 280X. I'll get the specs out of the way first. This Sapphire card is rocking 3GB of GDDR5 384-bit memory at 6000 MHz, a core clock of 950 MHz, with a boost clock of 1000 MHz. This card also has support for DirectX 12 and Windows 10 for future games. I also have an AMD Athlon X4 860K overclocked to 4.1 GHz. Besides that, I have 8GB of Corsair Vengeance GDDR3 RAM at 600 MHz. The Sapphire Vappor-X variant of this card features 3 fans for effective cooling and a heatsink that covers the entire card, even going over it at the end. This keeps the card very cool at around 130 degrees Fahrenheit or about 50 degrees Celsius. In terms of ports, it comes with the standard DVI ports, 1 HDMI, and 1 DisplayPort. Now, time to talk about performance. At first, I was thoroughly disappointed by this card's performance. When I first got this card, I put it in, saw the drivers, opened up Far Cry 4, and maxed the game out at 1080p, except the NVIDIA GameWorks options, of course, which is only available for NVIDIA cards. And got about 50 to 60 FPS, which is almost better than what I was hoping for. This performance didn't last long, though. Later that day, I opened up Far Cry 4 and couldn't get about 40 FPS even on low settings, in the same spot of the map. This happened in other games too, like Battlefield 3 and 4 and Dirty Bomb. Didn't matter what graphics I had it at, or even what resolution I had it at. I would get about 25 to 40 FPS. But sometimes I could max the game out at 60 FPS no problem. It just seemed kind of random. I figured it was a defective GPU, as sometimes I would get great FPS when I played, while other times not so much. I RMA'd and got a brand new one. Hooked it up and got great FPS at first, and then went right back to the old one. I tried new drivers, old drivers, overclock, and underclock, and nothing worked. Then, I tried going into the BIOS and undoing some of the power saving options for my CPU. This helped at first, but went right back to poor performance. Besides this, the AMD software is terrible, crashes consistently, and hotkeys almost never work. And recording software that's supposed to not hinder performance tanks my FPS whenever it does actually work. But while I was in the middle of writing this review, I decided to do a little bit more research and found a website where this guy talks about downloading an application and unparking your CPU cores. This helped greatly. My FPS soared up to about 60 to 80, even reaching 120 sometimes, maxed out at 1080p in Battlefield 4. This helped a little bit in Far Cry 4 as I got about 40 to 60 FPS instead of about 20 to 30, but it helped quite as much. Overall, I've been extremely disappointed with this card at first, but now that I've fixed the problem, I'm a little bit happier. It could be that my CPU is also bottlenecking my graphics cards, so I only have a quad-core CPU. It's an AMD card, so it's kind of cheap. But if anybody has any information to help, that'd be great. Leave it down in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.